Please be aware that the comments, views, opinions shared on this podcast are not meant to diagnose a medical problem and/or legal problem. If you do have a medical problem or legal problem, kindly contact a professional.
Welcome to An Apple a Day, a podcast, a resource, a community. Share your experiences and learn from others as we overcome barriers and learn to live a happy, healthy life with a disability. Welcome to the community. Here's your host, Jimmy Apple.
Welcome to another episode of An Apple a Day. Welcome to 2019, my friends. Hey, we survived another holiday season, huh? How you doing? I'm your host, Jimmy Apple. You're listening to An Apple a Day. I just want to remind you before we start, An Apple a Day is brought to you by www.famousapple.com. I told you we were going to survive. I told you surviving the holidays is easy. You just have to put your mind to it. And you did. And look, here you are. Here you are. It's the week after the holidays. You survived, right? It was no big thing. You had fun. You enjoyed yourself. You watched the movies. You ate a little bit. You partied a little bit with your family and your friends. Probably maybe you did a little dancing, a little joking, a little laughing, right? Hey. It's what the holidays are about. It's about enjoying yourself and enjoying the people around you. And that's what you did. That's exactly what you did. And all that worrying and all that feeling bad for yourself and melancholy and, all those nasty feelings that you have leading up to it. They all disappear that day, right? They all disappeared. Well, that's the magic of the season. So here we are. We're in a new year and it's a new you. Believe it or not, it's a rebirth. It's a new year. So, did you make your resolutions? I got a couple in the mail. I got a couple in my email from listeners, and they're good ones. They're good ones, and I'm going to start, pushing them, make sure that people are following them. I'm giving you a week. To get into them. Losing weight, that's a good one. Saving money, that's a good one. Being nicer to your family, that's a good one. Getting into a relationship, that's a good one. So there's quite a few. That we received, and I'm going to keep on checking up on you as the time goes on, and I'm not just going to let it go after the first couple of weeks. We're going to check up on you all year long. That's right. I told you that. I told you, friends check up on friends. So what else went on? I got to ask. I have to ask because I seen this and maybe I'm becoming a stick in the mud. Maybe I'm getting older. I don't know. I watched on Channel 4 in New York on NBC. I watched the ball drop on New Year's Eve. And I was shocked. Maybe, I don't know why. There was a song, J-Lo. Jennifer Lopez did a song, and I couldn't understand a word of it, and I'm just figuring, well, that's my age, I'm getting older, and I figure, well, the kids understand it, but then I thought about it. J-Lo's just about as old as I am, really, because she went to high school a few years after me, but there she is, she's up there gyrating and all this other stuff, and she's got teenage kids. Next thing I know, she's ripping her shirt off, and there she's standing in a bra. Not for nothing. I could understand if her kids were going, holy crap, Mom, what the hell is wrong with you? Have you lost your mind? How embarrassing is that for the kids? And then you got the other one, the host. The host up there, she's talking about steaming her vagina. What? What the hell is that? What is it, wrinkled? You gotta steam out the wrinkles? Whatever happened to Dick Clark and the rockin' New Year's Eve, and you had the bands and the music and people dancing and having fun and partying? Nobody was ripping their clothes off. Nobody was steaming private parts. Am I just getting old? Really? And then you get the news. Especially out of California. Those people are nuts sometimes. The safe space is so, heroin addicts can shoot up. That makes me sick. That makes me really sick. That's like the equivalent to giving drunk drivers their own lane on the highway. You're giving them a safe space to shoot up. Yeah, let's give the drunk drivers their own lane. Unbelievable. But we're in the future. I give up sometimes. Well, we got a good one for you today. We got some information from Social Security, the first message from Social Security for 2019. And then we got some information that I'd like to pass on to you, just reminders for those of us who are disabled, things that we should keep in mind. And we did it last year, the same thing, but the list is expanded a little bit. So I want to give you this new list, reminders for us, for the people who are disabled. So let's get into it right now, all right? Let's start off with the message from Social Security by Jim Borland. It says, each year we announce the annual cost of living adjustment, COLA or COLA. Usually there's an increase in the Social Security and Supplemental Security Income, SSI benefit amount people receive each month, starting the following January. The law requires that federal benefit rates increase when the cost of living rises, as measured by the Department of Labor's Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, or CPI-W. The CPI-W rises when prices increase for things the average consumer buys. This means that when prices for goods and services we purchase become more expensive on average, the COLA increases benefits and helps beneficiaries keep up with the changing cost of living. More than 67 million Americans will see a 2.8% increase in their Social Security and SSI benefits in 2019. This month marks other changes based on increases in the National Average Wage Index. For example, the maximum amount of earnings subject to Social Security payroll tax will increase to $132,900 in 2019. The retirement earnings test exempt amount will also increase. You want to know more about your new benefit amount? In December 2018, we posted Social Security COLA notices online for retirement, survivors, and disability beneficiaries who have a My Social Security account. You can view and save these COLA notices securely via your message center inside My Social Security. Next year, be the first to know. Sign up for or log into your personal My Social Security account. Choose email or text message under Message Center Preferences to receive courtesy notifications so you won't miss an electronic COLA notice. This year, even if you accessed your COLA notice online, you still received your COLA notice by mail. In the future, you will be able to choose whether you want to receive your notice online instead of on paper. Online notices will not be available to representative payees, individuals with foreign mailing addresses, or those who pay higher Medicare premiums due to their income. We plan to expand the availability of COLA notices to additional online customers in the future. For more information about COLA, you can go to www.ssa.gov. That's the website for Social Security. So there you have it. That's our first notice from Social Security for the year, and it's good news. It's about an increase in our pay. So again, go over, check out www.ssa.gov, and it's worth opening up a My Social Security account. I opened one last year, and that's where I get all these notices from that I read over the podcast. So you might want to go check it out yourself. All right, let's move along here. All right, I have a serious question for you. If I was to disappear, would you cry your eyes out? Would you withdraw from society? Would you hide? Would you wait for me to come back? All right, well, here's the deal. I'm only going away for 30 seconds, but I'll be back. I'll be back in 30 seconds. We're going to take a quick break here, okay? So I'll see you on the other side of this break, so don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. An Apple a Day is brought to you by www.famousapple.com. FamousApple.com is the home site for this podcast, and there you're going to find connections to our Facebook page, our Twitter page. You're going to find connections to our private chat board, our private chat rooms. You're also going to find that we're sponsored now by As Seen on TV, and there's a lot of products displayed on the page for you to check out. So you get a minute, go over there, check out www.famousapple.com. Tell your friends about us. But don't go until we finish the conversation. Let's get back to it. And we're back. I told you. Try your eyes. I told you we'd be back. I told you. Jeez. I know you missed me. I missed you. Okay. Now, when we first started this podcast, we had a list of things that, well, you should be doing as a disabled person, and it was a short list. But as time went on, we've added to that list, and I just want to give you this expanded list. It's things that we've picked up over the year, and well, I think it's important. Now, one of the things we're gonna start off first. Let me just say this: we're gonna start off first with the medical things you must do. Now, if you've ever noticed, every time we start the podcast, I always ask you if you've been doing everything the doctor's been telling you to, if you've been taking your medication, doing everything the physical therapist told you to do. It's very important. That's very important. And it's just a reminder. I bring it up because I never had anyone asking me that stuff. And a lot of times I'd push it off. But sometimes it just helps to have somebody ask you. And it puts it in your head. And it almost makes you feel like, well, I better do it, But anyhow, the first part of the list is the medical things you must do. Must do. Number one is you have to go to your doctor's appointments. I know, especially from my own experience, going to the doctor's appointments, especially I won't say especially, but in the beginning, you make every last one of them. But as time goes on, you seem to get lazy about it, especially if the doctor gives you appointments in the middle of the day, because then you start getting like, it's going to take up my whole day, and you start looking for excuses not to go. You have to go to every appointment. You wouldn't have the appointments if they weren't necessary. So you have to go to every doctor's appointment. Work with the scheduler to make them in the morning or to make them in the evening, whatever is convenient for you. Work with the scheduler for that. But you have to make it that you get to every doctor's appointment. And that should be a New Year's resolution for you this year, that you're going to go to every doctor's appointment. Not that you're going to try, because once you say you're going to try to go to doctor's appointments, you're giving yourself an excuse by saying, well, I'm going to try. You're not going to try. You're going to go. The same thing is for your therapist, your physical therapist. Make your therapy appointments. You have to make them. If they weren't important, you wouldn't have them. And again, speak to the scheduler. If it's more convenient for you to go to first thing in the morning, then schedule for first thing in the morning. If it's more convenient for you to go last thing at night, make your appointments late at night. But it's very important that you do it, that you go. And again, that should be another New Year's resolution. Not that you're going to try, but that you're going to go. Now, this goes without saying. And I know you're probably going to say, well, what do you think? We're stupid? But you'll be surprised. Take your medications as prescribed. You're not a doctor, all right? If your doctor says take pain medication 2 times a day, you take it 2 times a day. If you're saying, well, it's not hurting. Well, you know what? The doctor told you to take it 2 times a day. If you have a question about it, then you call the doctor. You call the doctor and you say, well, look, it's not hurting. Do I have to take it 2 times a day? Don't just start or stop any medication on your own. Some medications can kill you if you just stop them. There's some medications that you have to be weaned off of. So don't take it upon yourself. Any kind of medication that you want to stop that the doctor's prescribed for you, check with the doctor first. Don't do it on your own. Now, the therapist, they're going to give you exercises to do at home. Do the exercises. If you want to get better, if you want to at least plateau out, get to the point that you're the best you can be, then do the exercises. Don't just do them in session when you go to the therapist appointment. You have to do them at home. They're going to give you a list of things to do at home. Make sure you do it. And again, make that a New Year's resolution. Not that you're going to try to do it, that you're going to do it. And don't tell me, it's a pain in the ass because I got other things to do. What's more important than your health? And you're home because you had an accident or because you got hurt. So what else do you have to do but to get better? What's more important for you to do than to get better? So do the exercises that they give you. That's the most important thing. And number 5, follow your doctor's orders. If the doctor tells you don't eat junk food, don't eat candy, don't eat sugar, don't drink coffee, don't drink soda, lay down for 2 hours every 3 hours or whatever Whatever the doctor's orders are, you make sure you follow. Your full-time job right now is to get better, to do what's best for your health. And to not do it is foolish. So those are the 5 medical must-dos. And you're going to the doctor for a reason. And it's kind of stupid, okay? And there's no other word for it. It's kind of stupid to go to the doctor and not do what the doctor tells you to do. Am I right? Of course I'm right. I'm Jimmy Apple. All right, let's move on to the next section here. This is the personal must-dos. Go to bed and wake up at normal times. What happens is once you're home and you're not getting up to go to work or school the next day, all of a sudden you feel like, stay up tonight and I'll watch Nick at Night or whatever. And you find yourself staying up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning watching TV and then staying in bed until 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's no good for you. You're throwing yourself off. Keep a normal schedule. Number 2, when you wake up in the morning, get dressed, okay? Don't sit around all day in your pajamas. Don't sit around all day in your funk. Get up, take a shower, get washed. Maintain your hygiene. That's number 3. So number 2 and 3, maintain your hygiene. Get up, get dressed. Greet the day like a normal human being. Number 4, eat regular meals. And what I mean by that is don't wake up in the morning and eat pretzels and potato chips for breakfast, pretzels and potato chips for lunch, ice cream and candy for dinner, and all the junk you could fit in between, because the only thing that's going to do is get you fat and 9 times out of 10 bring on diabetes. So watch what you eat. Eat regular meals. Sitting around and eating isn't going to make you feel any better, contrary to what you may believe. The only thing it's going to do is make you fat and harm your health. So eat regular meals. Don't sit around all day and just pig out. Number 5, and this is very, very important. Open your curtains. Turn off the lights in the house. Open your curtains. Let the natural light come in. Let the sunlight come in. Don't sit there in the dark like a hermit. Let the sunlight come in. Number 6, do any exercises that your doctor permits you to do. Get that blood circulating. Get your heart beating. Number 7, turn off the TV. For God's sake, turn off the TV. Don't get involved in these daytime shows, because once you get hooked on them, that's it. That's it. Number 8, get some fresh air. I don't care whether you open the window. I don't care whether you go out and sit on the front porch or on the back deck or out in your driveway. Get some fresh air in your lungs. It's very important. And if the doctor allows you, go out and go for a walk. Go for a walk around your neighborhood, or if you're in a wheelchair, roll around your driveway. Just get out of the house. Get some air in your lungs. Number 9, again, very important. Talk to people. Whether it's on the phone, whether it's in person, whether it's on the computer, just talk to people. Don't live within yourself. Don't become a hermit. Don't shy away from people. Don't pull away from outside people. Talk to people. Communicate with people. Number 10, this is very important too. You're in the house. Don't live like a pig. Don't wait for someone to come and clean up around you. Clean your area up. Clean up around you. Keep yourself neat. Keep your clothes clean. Keep the area that you're in clean. It's very important. It's very important. You got to keep your self-esteem up. You don't want people to look at you and say, oh, this poor guy is really out of it. And he's just can't handle it anymore. Keep yourself clean. Keep yourself vibrant. Don't let people look at you and think that you're failing. You're not. You're not. Let's move on to the next section. This is what you should be doing with other people. When you're with other people, talk about something other than your disability. Okay? When someone comes up to you and says, hey, Bobby, how you feeling? They don't want to know your history. They don't want to know what your most recent diagnosis is. They're saying, how you doing? That's like saying, hi, how are you? It's like saying hello. It's a greeting. It's a salutation. It doesn't mean they want to know everything that's going on in your life, to be honest. It's a pleasantry. Number 2 on this. Don't define yourself by your disability. In other words, somebody says to you, you want to go fishing. I would love to go fishing, but I can't because I can't bend over because my back is out. You want to go fishing? I can't right now. Maybe some other time. Don't define yourself as a cripple or the disabled one, because what happens is after a while, people don't even want to ask you anymore. You're you. You're more than just a disability. And who knows, maybe in a week, maybe in a month, maybe in a year, you're going to be able to bend over. Maybe you're going to be able to pick up something. Don't define yourself. Don't make the definitive you a disability. I know I don't want people to look at me and say, that's Jimmy Apple over there. He's the guy in a wheelchair. I just want them to say, hey, there's Jimmy Apple. Take an interest. Number 3. Take an interest in other people. Don't focus just on yourself, okay? You go out, all right, so maybe you feel like crap. I know sometimes I go out, I feel like crap, and I'm in a wheelchair, and yeah, if I'm using the manual wheelchair, it's like a workout for my arms, but I take an interest in other people. You know, how are you doing? What's new with you? Don't just go up and say, hi, how you doing? But I'm feeling worse and da-da-da. You know, it's not a contest. Don't try and make yourself sound worse than somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, you ever see the old people? They sit down and talk, and they exchange pleasantries for a second, and then one person will say, well, my arm is killing me, and the other one will say, well, my elbow is swollen, and they try to one-up each other. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take an interest in other people. Don't be a drama queen. Number 5, don't be a drama queen. You know, if people ask, if people really are interested and they want to ask what happened to you, you know, tell them the truth. I was in a car accident, or I fell off a ladder. Don't make it sound like you fell out of an airplane, or you crashed, or you had an accident, or you fell at work, or something fell on you, or you got sick, or whatever. But don't embellish the story, because, you know, people can tell when you're bullshitting them. I'm sorry, but that's just what it is. And they listen to you and they'll go, oh, yeah, that's nice. But you notice that they stay away from you after that. Don't embellish your story. Just if somebody actually wants to know what your deal is, you can tell them, but don't become a drama queen about it. And last but not least, try to be a bit independent. You know what your limits are, okay? But try to be a little bit independent. Don't wait for someone to come over like, you want a cup of coffee? Well, try and pour it yourself. Don't wait for someone to say, oh, Mary, I'll get you a cup of coffee because I know. Oh, Mary, go over and try and pour a cup of coffee yourself. If you can't do it, there's no harm in asking someone to help you, but at least try it. You know, show them that you know what your limits are. All right, maybe you can't go over and boil a pot of water, but you can go over and pour a cup of coffee, right? Try to be as independent as you possibly can. And as you go on, you're going to notice that you become more independent. Again, I'm not saying to do things that the doctor has told you not to do. Always check with your doctor first before you do anything, but do what you can. Do what you can. Don't live like you're in a cocoon now because you have a disability. Don't act like because I'm going to use myself as an example. I've had a few strokes and I'm missing a leg, but I can still get around in my wheelchair. I'm not waiting for someone to come push me around. And when I'm outside in the mall or out in the street, out in front of my house or something like that, I have an electric wheelchair. But I'm not going to wait for someone to come push me. I'm going to do my best to get around on my own. And that's what you have to do. Do your best to get on your own. To be on your own. So there you have it. That's our list to start the year off. And I'm sure next year we'll add to it again. But I just want to remind you, before you start doing anything, before you do any exercises or add any kind of pills or medication to your regimen, always check with your doctor. That includes before you stop any medication. Don't start or stop any medication. Don't start or stop any kind of exercise before you speak to your doctor. Okay? Well, I want to welcome you to 2019. I want to welcome you back to An Apple a Day. And I want to remind you, no matter what, things can always be worse. Right now, there's somebody striving to be where you're at. Always remember that. So, thanks a lot for coming by this week. Thanks a lot for coming by this year. And I'll talk to you next week. This is An Apple a Day. I'm Jimmy Apple. Thank you, my friends, for being here. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to An Apple a Day with Jimmy Apple, your gateway to a happy, healthy life. Join our community at www.famousapple.com. See you next time.